Alright, welcome to the 301 Podcast. I'm Bryce Davis. That's Garrett Campbell.
Woo!
And that's Clayton McCorder.
What's up?
And today we are going to be talking about The Nun from last year. Produced by James Wan. Definitely not fucking directed by James Wan.
No, sir.
Oh, man. So, let's just start off with the tone-setting good old first scene with probably the worst acting in the movie from the first two nuns.
Yeah.
It's just ass right off the bat. And not to mention that there was the potential for that cool-ass quote when she's all, you know what you have to do. Yeah. And then the other nun's all, not even God can say. And then, like, before she can say the cool line, she gets yeeted.
Yeah.
That would have been, like, the only fucking decent line in the entire movie.
She would have said, not even God can save you now, and then get yeeted. That would have been cool.
Yeah, no, it's all, not even God can. And then fucking, the girl goes to commit suicide, and, like, the cross turns upside down, trembling, bursts into fucking flames.
Yeah. Almost cool. Almost.
If it hadn't have burst into flames, it would have been alright.
Oh, yeah. That's probably the best way to describe most of this movie. Almost to good.
Yeah.
A million different times.
Could have potential throughout the entirety.
Yeah, but then you have, like, the next scene when they're in the fucking Vatican, and the background literally looks like it's, like, Assassin's Creed 1 loading screen.
Yeah, for real. Assassin's Creed 2. Assassin's Creed 1 was in Egypt.
But Assassin's Creed 1... it hammers the point home more because it looks like ass. Oh, and then, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when they were talking to the fucking... when he was, like, talking to, like, the bishops and shit, the bishop literally is like, for once it's not us with a secret. You're like, whoa. We're already making fucking...
making political statements.
Political diddling jokes. Right, not good kind.
Nothing political about diddling boys. Just a good old time.
And then we get fucking Sister Irene brought into it that they go to London to get, but she's not even British.
Nope. Very, very, very American. And
it doesn't even
explain it.
Yeah, it's never even mentioned.
Yeah. Hey, to be fair, every once in a while she says a couple words with a British accent. Every once in a while.
Yeah, it's like whenever she does, she forgets that she's supposed to be American. And she's like, oh, fuck, I gotta be American again.
It's like fucking Scarlet Witch in the Avengers series. Like, the scene that was supposed to explain why she's American just isn't in the movie. Like in Age of Ultron. No, because that's when they meet. In Civil War, there's supposed to be the scene, the deleted scene, where it, like, shows Black Widow training Scarlet Witch. Yeah. So it's like, oh, she's a spy, so she would hide her. But, like, maybe there's a scene that's supposed to be like this. I don't know. I wouldn't watch the deleted scenes. I didn't even want to watch the scenes that were in this movie.
There was about 8 good ones in this movie.
Oh, and then, did you guys notice how, so remember the fucking priest man is wearing the same clothes, even when he sleeps.
Yeah. He
the
wears
whole time.
Shoes when he sleeps. What a fucking cop.
Wears shoes, top buttoned with a tie still on. But Irene changes clothes.
Yeah, well, she's a woman.
From different... no one else changes clothes.
Yeah.
Not even Frenchie at any point changes clothes.
Well, she's the only woman who's not a nun.
She even fucking changes clothes after she gets sworn in as a nun. Into some risque clothes for the time.
She shows off her kneecaps.
Yeah, you can see knee. This is 1950s, seeing full-ass knee.
My grandpa was alive in the 1950s. I would have got him.
Randy. Then we get the honestly only good character because of how fucking lame he is. Frenchie.
He's hot. Beyond hot.
He's pretty hot.
He's pretty hot, but he's also just the horniest horn dog fucking dude hitting on her, and he's all, forgive me for my impure thoughts, or down. Let me lick your puss better than any of the other nuns.
Oh, no.
Almost, but that's almost how horny he was, but no one can out horny Garrett.
No, sir.
I fucking that girl so hard.
He most certainly
and
was.
And then when they were on the buggy and they were talking, and there was just like so much weird out of nowhere sexual tension between the two, and she's like, oh, my life would be devoted to the cause when I took my vows. And then he goes, would or will? And then she's all, her eyes are all.
She's like, holy fuck. I'm like Niagara Falls right now.
Then they go and all the stupid shit starts happening, whatever. And then the fucking scene, they all go into the monastery except for Frenchie. He's
Yeah.
all walking through the graveyard. We already see the nun right
Yeah.
there. Boom, monster jumping at
You
him.
saw the nun within the first like 3 minutes of the movie.
Oh, and then it shows the zombie nun.
Ew.
But that was when we first saw the stupid jump cut spins where it was like you're watching Welcome to Camp Nightmare,
Yeah.
the episode of Goosebumps from 1991.
I fucking love Goosebumps.
Goosebumps is way better than this
So much
fucking
better.
movie.
So much better.
Even Don't Go to the Basement, and
So
that's a
much better.
shitty episode.
More than half of the Goosebumps episodes are shitty episodes, and they're better than this movie was.
And that was probably one of like my biggest problems though, is not only do we see the nun at the very start, and I know it is explaining a creature that is in
Yeah.
Conjuring 2, but still there should be some mystique.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
even the characters themselves, you would think from like the basic like usual rules of a haunting, it's so much scarier if you don't know
Yeah.
what's coming after you. But
Hey, if you just
that
see,
thing
like,
grabs him,
Yeah.
and then he leaves
If you
for
just see, like,
45 minutes.
in amorphous shadow, and then, like, you'll see a hand reach out and grab him. That's so much scarier than just seeing the full nun's face in the first 4 minutes of the film.
Totally, and
So much scarier.
the nun that it's just so weird that the nun that leads him into the graveyard is the nun that he saw
Hanged.
having hung.
Yeah.
But by the time he saw her, her face was eaten by crows.
Yeah, so
He wouldn't have known what she looked
realistic,
like.
he wouldn't have known.
Yeah, why would it have taken her form? That's just fucking dumb.
Unless just randomly by chance on one of his quarterly supply runs, he just happened to see
He said
her.
he had never seen any of them before. The
There you
first
go.
nun he saw was the one hanging from the fucking.
Makes zero sense.
That is probably one of the only like 5 good shots in the movie is when
Yeah.
she's hung and the crows are
That's-
eating her. That's
that is pretty sick.
fucking gnarly.
There's a lot of good not establishing, but good like wide shots.
Yeah, there's definitely
In this.
quite a few decent ones. There's like the one when the little ghost boy
Yeah,
is like up against the grave, but it has like
that's pretty sick.
the angel wings drawn on it. It's like, oh, little boy angel.
When you see all the dead nuns with the bags over their heads, that's pretty cool too.
Or you were gonna say it.
No.
Oh, like when Clay pointed out the fucking when she was shoveling to get him out of the grave, and
Yeah.
the fucking shovel like almost hits him in the
Yeah.
face. It's like one of
That's
the
pretty
other
cool.
3 good fucking parts.
And can we talk about the superhuman strength needed to unbury a grave in the span of 2 minutes?
Not only it wasn't even a freshly buried grave. There was like grass and shit.
It was
already
like a 1600s plague grave.
that he was just magically in, even though he
Yeah.
fell into the freshly dug grave, but he was in a different grave.
Yep.
And when they don't freak out when that fucking bell is shaking on the grave at the start.
When they're first burying the hanged nun.
He literally is like, oh yeah, that's what happens when people survive the plague.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, well,
I mean,
what's in that one
it's
then?
cool foreshadowing. It would have been cool foreshadowing had there been like very visibly a breeze. It was blowing, say,
Yeah.
multiple bells and tree
But
limbs, but
once
not
again,
just one.
it was almost interesting,
Exactly.
but it wasn't.
The whole genesis of this movie is it was almost good.
Oh, and then
No, it sucked.
It had potential.
and then there was like the shot when he fell into the grave,
Mm-hmm.
and it said that it was his grave,
Yeah.
and then it wasn't his grave.
No.
The second, like he like teleported to a different grave.
It was like
and
really.
then he was buried with books that were in there, but weren't in there when he fell in. Why would the
Yeah.
demon help him find the solution?
It's all God's will, bro.
That was funny when he like gets out and he's just like, "Oh, bro, like they buried me with these books, dude. We should read these." Oh,
It's just catching the Ryan. He just like yeets John Lennon.
they put him there
Uh-huh.
so he would open it, so he would save a lot.
Oh, okay.
That's why it like kind of is there, and then as soon as that's when the shit pops off, and shit starts fucking butt fucking everything.
Gotcha.
Okay.
That makes a little more sense.
That might
Okay,
not
I
even
just want this explained to me. How many fucking nuns are inside this monastery?
none.
Yeah.
Nonenuns. Nuns.
There were no, because that lady was talking to one for a while at the table, then she got yeeted on.
So that one was no, because then that
No,
was
no.
also a ghost.
Because towards the end,
No, because she died, then he yeeted on her, and the cross got burnt in his hand. So she was real at one point. Died.
The bitch that he yeeted on was long dead.
Yeah, that was like a rotted corpse.
She was
Oh,
like
so
she was like a zombie.
So none of those. That's why. Because Garrett, you did notice that one of the background nuns was the nun from the start.
Yeah.
So it was like the subtle. It was a ghost.
It also-
should've known.
So the only two nuns in the whole monastery were dead. The first one the ones in the first scene were the only two ones in the whole fucking church.
Yeah, the rest of them were dead by then. The two in the very,
in
very
the
beginning, yeah.
opening scene, the explanation scene. Those it mentioned it like for a second later was that that girl who hung herself after the other one got eaten by Vlog
Yeah.
was the only alive nun. in
Yeah,
the
she was the
monastery.
sacrifice.
And then, but like, if it took her soul, then it would have like finally gotten the power it needed. If it took all
Yeah.
those souls, so that's why she.
Going back to the whole, the nun from the beginning was in the background scene. I think it was also just poor casting because like 3 of the nuns looked almost exactly identical.
It very well could have not been that one, but there's no way to know. It was
It
like
probably wasn't because this movie was not written very well.
no, I mean, those nuns obviously, right? Like, would have been Romanian,
Yeah,
but
they
none of them,
they wouldn't have been named Ruth.
none of them, none of the people in the main cast were Romanian, but they
No.
were in Romania.
Yeah.
And when they went to the bar, there was like a bunch of people that looked like vaguely kind of Slavic.
Yeah,
But
There's a woman.
none of the nuns, all of the nuns were like Spanish.
Yeah,
Like the man who was supposed to be Italian,
Yeah.
who is so clearly a Spaniard.
they were either a lot like Burke or a lot like Irene, where they were like very blatantly not the race they should be.
Yeah, they were like as not white as Tessa Farmiga is,
Yeah.
for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it was if you. Yeah, I don't know. It could be one of two ways: either very poor casting, or it could be somewhat deeper, and it's the demon showing the 2 main characters what they would expect nuns to look like.
Yeah.
Which could be cool, but
I guess.
I don't think they.
'Cause
were
that
going
is
for
a
that.
point to point out that we are seeing nobody that's real.
No,
Like, none,
it's all figments of their imagination.
Yeah, all of that was fake. And as if you couldn't tell from the fucking first nun in the cavern scene
Yeah.
where she doesn't even move and it's
No.
just like a shroud in the corner.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't that be spooky?
It's pretty spooky.
Yeah, why wouldn't the dude just be like, yo, like, who you bitch?
Hey, take off your
Yeah, you
veil,
want to
bro.
take that funeral fucking regalia
For
off?
real. Like the fucking invisibility cloak from Harry Potter.
It was like Frenchie when he's in the bar and he like is talking to the fucking people.
Yeah.
That's the only time they like mention how it's affecting the community, and it never goes back to that, which is kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Why would the barman give him the shotgun?
I think he kind of stole it.
It feels like the shotgun was behind the bar on the wall with a box of shells, and he somehow has that shotgun in the box.
Because he killed the entire bar with said shotgun. That's why he had to only use it in emergencies, because he didn't have that many
He
shells
jumped
left.
over the bar and in hand-to-hand combat beat the biggest Slavic bartender ever.
Yes.
I think you're jumping.
Okay, can we also Burke,
Plays drunk.
Burke, right? It explains that Burke is like a miracle hunter. Is
Yeah,
that what it
Miracle
said?
Hunter.
And so he's an exorcist.
Yeah.
It shows him do an exorcism earlier. So we would say he would at least be pretty well versed in demons and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
We would hope.
Why would he have opened a demon book and said the names out loud when it's like basic? Even in the later ones, Vera Farmiga won't say Valak's name out. Like says it like gives him power or whatever, and then
Yeah.
she does finally use it as like the trap.
Yeah.
But in this one, it so clearly gives it the power. Why wouldn't he? Why would he even? He even says Valak the Filer. It says like all of his
The
nicknames.
Marquis of Snakes.
Yeah,
That's
that
the
was-
coolest name ever.
Yeah, it doesn't even play into that. There's only 2 snakes in the whole fucking
And it's
movie.
not even from the nun. It's from the little boy.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
could be. He was fucked by the nun, bro. So
So
She's delegating work.
So this is-
she's using child labor.
I want to hear the final opinion of 301 podcast. Did Father Burke diddle Daniel?
I think it's a Catholic priest
I
with a
think-
little boy tied up in a barn.
I was gonna say, I think somebody had to tie the little boy up, and there was a
Yeah.
Catholic priest in there. That's all I'm saying. You've seen the news. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Confirmed
I think-
2019. Burke diddled Daniel.
I mean, I think the snake coming out of the mouth was heavily implied.
Oh,
Damn. Yeah, fair enough.
oh,
I don't know if the movie is implying it, but I'm implying it. So.
I just hate how like every scare, besides like the one time when Danny jumped out, was not only predictable,
But
but had
shit.
like a really long build up.
Yeah, like you could hear the score come in. You could see like
the only scene that could have been good was when like the shadows of the nuns came together
yeah.
into the big shadow, and then it rotated, and then it went into the mirror, and then looped back around and screamed here.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
dumb. Like on the scene towards the beginning when they're first in the convent area, there's like a good 10-second zoom in on the radio. And as soon as it started zooming in, I said, "Oh, it's going to turn on." Then 10 seconds later, popped on.
Yeah, it could have been a pan.
So predictable.
It could have been just a pan shot of the room, and then it just.
It
kicks
could
off.
have just been an establishing shot of the room, not even focused.
But yeah, it had
Anywhere
to-
near
it had to
on the radio.
Zoom from 40 feet
Yeah.
to 20 feet, and then the fucking
It's-
kicks on.
Very heavy-fisted.
Or when Burke, once again, an exorcist,
Mm-hmm.
has the fucking the leader nun,
Mm-hmm.
her ghost,
Yeah, that.
is in the room,
Abbas.
and he hears her neck snap and her fall,
Yeah.
and then there's a glow in the dark crucifix on her. How would he not have known not to grab that? He's a fucking exorcist. He's like, probably
Exactly.
the crucifix the demon is wearing probably doesn't work too good.
Probably not. But in his endless exorcist knowledge, I'm sure he had a way to purify it and be able to add it to his priest arsenal.
Shove it up the little boy's cunt.
So, like,
His boy cunt.
what was the whole... So, if none of the nuns were ever real, what was the whole purpose of, like, all of those scenes of them constantly praying, if that wasn't true?
Or
I think it was to lull Irene into a sense of that's what she has to do with the other nuns in order to finally defeat the spirit. Because then, you know what? No, what I'm gonna say isn't gonna make any sense.
No,
it doesn't make any sense. It's all
it
stupid.
seems
It's
like
all
that's
fucked.
what's to fight it, but
Yeah.
that also means that since that wasn't what was happening, the whole time nothing was keeping it at bay.
Yeah.
So it could have attacked at any second and done the combat that it did at the end, where it like physically is beating the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Could have done that there, like at any point before they grabbed Christ's fucking blood.
Fuck yeah, for real. Like what the fuck was
Like
that all
like
about?
it fast forwards so far through them going to get the blood. Like they just like go and get it. Like why wouldn't it have just killed them before that? Because
I wasn't even there for that scene. I was pissing my fucking guts out during that.
But and you saw the fight at least.
Yeah.
It was obviously could have killed them all.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it beat the shit out of
Absolutely.
them in one encounter.
It's like classic supervillain monologue. Like where during the monologue the supervillain could have just, killed the hero and then activated the doomsday.
Yeah, so you had a
They
whole
have to monologue.
You had a whole movie of it.
Yeah.
Because like through the theory of like the name gives it power.
Yeah.
As soon as Burke said it, all of like the hallucinations could have just ended, and she could have killed them one by one.
Yeah. And then just gone on and become the, whatever the hell she wanted.
Because if she had killed Frenchie and the other dude, because it obviously shows that it doesn't have to happen in the temple too.
Yeah, no.
Because she physically attacks both of them outside. Could have killed Frenchie on his way and could have killed Burke in the monastery
Yeah.
where he was, and then take a taste of soul in.
Absolutely. Bad movie.
And then it still does end up doing it. It still ends up taking Frenchie. If it wasn't contained, why wouldn't it have just killed the other two?
Yeah. No telling. Bad writing.
Oh, it was so lazy. It was so lost in its own bullshit so many different times.
Yeah.
that like
Well, why can't you follow your own rules?
yeah why wasn't the like blood of Christ thing centric? Like
Yeah.
that was the solution.
Like if the whole plot of their whole reason to be there was the Vatican told Father Burke to go retrieve the blood of Christ.
Yes.
And meanwhile, the nun is trying to keep them
Yeah,
from
why-
getting it. That would have been such a better movie. So much better.
They like at so many different points. He didn't want to go. He said he just wanted to find out
Yeah.
if the grounds were holy anymore, and he knew they weren't.
Yeah, absolutely. He knew that
He got
they were.
thrown into a grave, and then had a demon scream in his face while he was buried in a grave
And you-
where there couldn't
okay,
have been somebody.
you
else.
Like I said when we were
Immediately
watching the movie, I was paying a solid 4 attention. But why did they pick her?
Because she had God visions as a kid.
Okay,
Oh.
so but it definitely.
I had God visions too. All I did was get molested by a priest. So
Oh, damn.
satire.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That was shocking. I was convinced.
I was too.
I was like,
I
fuck,
was like, holy shit, do I need to cut this?
fuck, dude. God is dead. I didn't realize you saw him die.
Okay, Splinter me the nun.
Okay, but no, so it kind of tried to hint at it, but it also, the Mary leads the way.
Yeah, that was so stupid.
That was so stupid and was only mentioned at the start so they could do that part later.
Yeah.
But, like, that's not something that, like, the Vatican would have known.
No.
That was, like, one small part of a puzzle.
Yeah.
So if that's all she said when she was a kid, they wouldn't have known to send her. It definitely did not. I thought it did. It definitely did not ever mention why they would send her.
Yeah, it's because
I guess
she's
she
the
was
only.
cutie pie. I guess.
Yeah, she's cute and she's the only American in England apparently.
That's a good point. We were talking, like, 1951.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so fucking
Also,
stupid.
other very like you said, while we're watching the movie, the whole plot of the movie is that the demons come out because the church got bombed. They
Yeah.
don't bomb churches
Exactly.
during the war. If you look at
They definitely, even, let's say, even suspension of
Accidentally.
disbelief, even if they were bombing, like, British cities and stuff, why would they shoot a bomb into a church sitting alone on the
Yeah.
side of a mountain? That isn't even a church, but is an old raggedy castle.
Yeah, exactly. There could be pockets of resistance in
no,
it.
if you
Well,
look at German cities in 1945 when the war's over and the whole city's flattened, literally you see 20 buildings still up, and those are all churches.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that was like the whole thing. Because I remember hearing about that in a documentary where, like, that would be where the medics
Yeah.
would be. Because
And
even though
civilians and-
though Germans would shoot a medic, they wouldn't shoot, like, into it.
yeah, no.
no one shot in churches.
Yeah.
Like that was just you don't because they still believed in. At the end of the day,
Yeah, 'cause
it's still the
isn't-
same religion.
Yeah, because weren't they, like, pseudo-Catholic?
They pretended to be,
Yeah,
but
'cause
the civilians were
the
still.
official
Anyways.
religion of Nazis was just a general belief in God.
Yeah,
But were they, like, all of the German people were...
I mean, civilians. I mean,
Like
still
Catholic.
Catholic and
Yeah, the
Protestant probably.
bulk of the religious people in Germany that were not like Nazi officials.
Because
I'm just saying-
I'm
It's
just
just
pointing
all
out that
Catholicism.
before those 7 years
Yeah.
that they became Nazis, they were all Catholics.
pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
We're just getting at they don't bomb churches, especially fucking random ass churches on the side of a fucking mountain in the middle of Romania.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it
so-
makes
so-
zero fucking sense.
I did not misunderstand that it all depended on that. On
Yeah.
a bomb
Yeah, the
cracked
bomb
the seal.
Yeah, the bomb cracked the seal, and then they felt earthquakes for days after, or some shit like that.
It would have been more.
So fucking stupid.
Yeah, it was really fucking stupid.
But the worst fucking quote, man. When he finds the fucking vial of Christ's blood, and the kid says, "Holy shit," and then the priest replies to blasphemy with the holiest. So he's referring
Nice.
to
Jesus Christ,
Jesus Christ's blood as the holiest shit.
God damn.
He's like, and then, or, okay, so like in the logic of God being real, even though he's not,
Yeah,
the demons
definitely.
being real, she turns and for the first time sees the demon nun eye to eye and proceeds to take the Lord's name in vain.
Yeah.
How would God not have just been like, okay, I give up, and then that guy just fucking, I guess guy, I don't.
It's never
Is it Valak?
established. I mean, in a lot of like mythology and stuff like that, like demonic beings are asexual. I mean, they don't ever take like they can take both forms. They can take the form of whatever they
really
want.
They really missed an opportunity to make it a little
More
more
horny, dude?
unsettling if the nun was a dude.
Yeah.
He
That
just
would
pulled
have
out
been
his
way,
fat,
no, like that.
fat demon cock.
No, if just the
Fucks Irene to death.
the grim visage of it was like always a nun.
Yeah.
And then when they like finally see it and it's angry, if that was a dude,
That'd be so much creepier.
that
I'm
would be
pretty
way
sure it was
creepier.
Marilyn Manson to make it.
Yeah.
It's actually the same lady who plays like a fucking. She always plays like a witch or whatever.
Oh.
I can't think of her
So
name.
she's just a real ugly bitch in real life.
Aw.
Sadly,
Everybody's pretty. Come on, man.
There was a scene when they were going, once they opened up the door with the fucking suicide lady key, and in that scene, was it Irene? Or was it Frenchie? They got chased by the faceless nuns. I think it was Frenchie.
Frenchie was in the room with the faceless
Yeah.
nuns.
It would have been so much creepier if the nun had been faceless, and then when it got angry, it'd be the face of an angry dude. Would
Yeah.
that not be so much fucking creepier?
100%.
Ugh.
You know, this movie would be a lot better if they just never made it.
Yeah.
This movie would honestly be like way better if James Caan, who was James Wan, who was the executive producer and writer of the movie, directed the fucking movie.
Yeah, because they got a relatively unknown, like, nobody. to
Yeah,
direct
yeah,
this,
he had only
right?
done a like single movie. I can't even remember what it was fucking called.
Damn. Yeah, because, I mean, Conjuring 1 is incredible. I mean, I think it's a horror classic at this point.
Oh yeah, the Conjuring 1's going to be one of the only movies that is really going to prevail from these times as
Absolutely, yeah.
like Get Out,
Yeah.
or Hereditary. Like
Or Slender Man.
There's a few that are great, and there are a few that are going to be cult classics, like Terrifier. Definitely not Slender Man.
you fucking ever put Slender Man in the same category as Hereditary again, and I will slap fight you with Dick.
I'm just saying, Slender Man, kind of spooky.
It's just because all of his appendages are penises. If you believe slash fic
Slender
lore.
Man, demon cock. Fat Slender Man.
Touched my girlhood with his soapy fingers. Ooh, throwing back to good old Slendy Lemons. Ugh.
That's your weekly dose of ASMR.
Oh, but no, that is truly the biggest, dumbest, easiest to correct plot hole. Is why, after getting sworn in as an emergency as a nun, why is she not a nun at the end?
She has a pentagram on her shoulder, bro.
I mean,
Oh, wow,
she
no.
is a nun, but I mean, I think the main reason why she wasn't dressed as a nun was because after you're a full nun, I don't think you're supposed to wear that pure white one that she was wearing.
Just take it off a dead bitch.
That's definitely not cool to take it off a dead bitch.
In a convent,
Yeah.
there's not a nun robe in a convent, so
Hey man, those were all tainted.
So in her bags that she left on the buggy, we're supposed to believe that she magically had like a beautiful dress
Yes.
that she did not have any reprehensions against wearing,
Yep.
even though it would be super against wearing it in the times.
Yep.
Not to mention she had makeup on.
She's a troublemaker, bro.
Why
Her
would she have put
eyeshadow
on
was
makeup?
on point.
It was.
Oh man, I'm just trying to pick apart a movie that already has a fucking.
If you pick it apart too far, it's gonna start making sense.
No, there's no. Oh, that's now that I'm thinking about fucking Conjuring and how this is in the same universe in Conjuring, Annabelle, and Annabelle Creation. How Conjuring, Annabelle, and Annabelle Creation are like fucking fantastic as fuck movies.
Yeah.
And then we get this absolute piss.
Yeah.
It's just like fucking. Wow, I saw La Llorona the other day. And it's ass. It's just like this. It's like literally like somebody wrote it, quote unquote, wrote it.
Yeah.
Like, James Wan wrote like the basic premise of La Llorona
Yeah.
or the basic premise of The Nun, and then gave someone else just like full creative control, and it was like a nightmare. And that's exactly what both these were. We're just like jumbled up fucking messes.
Yeah, it's like the movies that you and I would write back when we were in high school. It doesn't make any sense, and
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like.
yeah.
It's like if somebody else told me to write a La Llorona movie,
Yeah.
I would have written a movie as good as La Llorona.
Yeah.
Same thing about told me to give me a backstory of The Nun. I probably wouldn't have written shit like Germans bombed a fucking building that didn't get bombed in the war.
yeah, exactly.
Ours would have been a lot more horny though.
It would have been so much more horny.
Mine would, if I'm writing a fucking horror movie, I don't need horniness in it at all. This isn't 1980s. The whole point of these movies isn't anymore to combat premarital sex.
Premarital sex is not allowed, so
Clay and I still live in 1973. Everything is horny.
I thought premarital sex wasn't allowed. Are you horny or is premarital sex allowed?
it's not allowed.
So you're just sad and horny?
I mean,
Don't look at me like that. Come on.
that's a very, very apt description.
So let me like your
Why do
dick-
you think I punch my dick so hard? Dude, come on.
your dick is so hard that it just leaks tears
Oh,
from misuse.
tear penis.
Oh, so winner.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to cut plenty of this.
Okay, guys. So
But we're Gucci. We're 32 minutes in.
hell yeah. So let's say The Nun on a good old Rotten Tomatoes scale,
All right.
0 to 100.
Oh fuck.
30. No. Zero.
Really?
I'd give it like a fucking 10, maybe, just because there's like redeeming shots, I guess. There's like a couple decent
Yeah.
like stills.
Okay, yeah, 10% because you can tell they tried.
They try, but just because they tried doesn't mean that they deserve any sort
Definitely
of
better than
praise.
Slender Man. Looking back, this is definitely better than
yeah.
Slender Man.
Definitely.
But
not by much, but definitely.
See, I would kind of argue that Slender Man was even slightly better explained than The Nun.
I mean, the monster Slender Man was so much better explained than the monster the Nun.
Yeah. Literally, you know exactly the same amount about Vlok the demon now, even though it got its own movie,
Yep.
as you did in its small parts in The Conjuring.
Yeah.
I mean, Conjuring 2.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't
Now,
think she appeared.
If you had a Japanese light tubes death match, and it was Pee Pee Poo Poo Man versus Slender Man versus the Nun, who wins?
The Nun was
The
pretty fucking powerful.
Nun, bro. She was so strong.
Yeet you against the wall
Exactly.
by going.
Exactly.
But
She just screamed like that, and that fucking light bulb would be
do you
up your
think?
ass.
Do you think she could defeat all of Slender Man's proxies? You know what I'm saying? Or could she?
I mean, she's a nun. She does have to legally eat puss.
No.
Or could she even get past the sexy, sweaty allure that is his abs? You know what I'm saying? Pee Pee Poo Poo Man, she'll just slam his head against
Yeah,
the
oh,
fucking
Pee Pee
floor.
Poo Man's
That
fucking
dog,
dead as shit.
That dog, she's Romanian, she'll give a fuck about dog stomp on his head.
She'll just
pussy
shit on
ass.
him and he'll explode.
She'll just go, ah, and then he'll just slam to the ground.
His head will just like contract into nothing.
She'll make snakes bite him in the eyeball.
Exactly. That dog's dead as fuck. Pee Pee Poo Man's fucking gone.
Oh, can we also go back real quick and talk about the heavy metalness that was Tesa Farmiga spitting the blood of Christ?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was heavy fucking
That
metal.
was one of the cooler scenes.
But
in the
how
movie,
did
for
she
sure.
open the glass cross
with
underwater?
her fucking strong ass hands, bro?
Underwater?
Yeah,
So how's the blood not just in the water? Why wouldn't it have killed it right then?
yeah, yeah.
Why do you want this movie to make sense?
I wanted like at least 45 seconds to make sense.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
got none.
We got next to 0 seconds that made sense in this entire movie.
Yeah, like when he pressed the cross to the demon's forehead and it burst into flames. And the cross didn't kill it, and the flames didn't kill it, but when he shot it with a double-barrel shotgun, it died.
Yeah. Killed the body, man. Killed the host.
How do you think Jesus
The
killed
bird was
Satan?
a rotted corpse that didn't need to extra die.
How do you think Jesus killed Satan at the end times? Double barrel shotgun.
Ooh.
I will
wait.
convert to Christianity
Whoa.
if Jesus Christ actually does
Whoa,
that.
dude. Is Ash from Army of Darkness, is that Christ?
Fuck.
Did Christ have a chainsaw arm?
That'd be pretty cool.
Christ would be way more real if he had a chainsaw arm, because at least one appendage would be real.
Fuck. Is Christ gas powered or electric powered?
He's, molest powered.
Oh. Poor kids. Because let's be honest, if you're Jesus and you're all powerful, would you not just molest every child under the age of 8?
I don't even need to be all powerful to do that.
Jesus Christ.
Satirical content from Garrett and Clay.
Big disclaimer. Oh my god.
Alright, well, I guess the overall 3-on-1 podcast review is a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's all
Yeah.
it deserves.
This movie's fucking
And
garbage.
she couldn't even beat sexy ass Slender Man in a fucking fist fight.
No.
So
He's got too many fists.
on a scale of 2 thumbs up, we give it fart emoji.
Yeah. Fart emoji, you mean shit. I'm gonna end it on that.